So, today we're doing something a little bit different than what I normally do. So, we are going to talk about common misconceptions in the Therian community, and some not common misconceptions in the Therian community, while I finish a mask. So, I know you'll see a lot of videos like this, and people will address misconceptions that are like, always, you'll always see them in videos of people talking about misconceptions in the community and all that, and like, it's just stuff that you've already heard already, like, we know this is a misconception, and something you'll see on your page, like, every single day, 100 times a day. So, I'm going to be sharing some less common ones, still some you might see sometimes, but some less common ones that you may see. So I know this one is kind of common, but the fact that people say Therians don't identify as animals and all that, they in fact do. And I want to talk about the fact that, oh my god, I'm losing my words. Okay, about the fact that that is true, yes, but there is also, please help me, bro. Okay, we're just kind of going to be talking about how that came to be and how physical Therians and all that are now kind of more accepted in the community. So, now that I have found my words, until about mid-2024, early 2025, I didn't see anything about how physical Therians should be accepted. Actually, I saw a lot of how they shouldn't be accepted and how it is not, it's delusional and, like, stuff you would say, stuff that haters would say to normal Therian, except it was the Therian community saying it to physical Therians. I saw a lot of that, actually, before, it came to the light of day that maybe it's all not that bad, and it's not actually super delusional, and it's something that doesn't really affect someone very much, or you in any way. It's just something that is there. And this is being said by a partial physical Therian, by the way. So, yeah. Anyways, and ever since, it came to the light of day, I'm seeing it all over my page on every single social media platform. It's like, oh, physical Therians are valid, or, oh, if you identify as an animal, if you don't identify as an animal, you're not a real Therian, and all that. And, I low-key need to know something, because I saw this person, Wolf, like W-O-F or W-U, something like that, I don't know. I'm sorry if this person sees this and I spelled it wrong, I'm so sorry, or if I pronounced it wrong, but, they made a video about how some Therians don't necessarily identify as animals, and I need to rewatch that, because I kind of forgot a lot about it, but we don't talk about that. I'll talk about that. Anyways, and honestly, I can see where that's coming from, but first let me explain it kind of how they explained it. So, they said that, they may know that they're a Therian, and they may know that they are, an animal on some level, but they may not identify as the animal because they don't really feel like it's the right time to do that, something along those lines. You should go watch their video. I will somehow figure out what their thing is and put it up on the screen so you guys can go watch that. I don't know if it's on YouTube, I just know it's on TikTok, so go watch that. Anyways, and so that part I can kind of see where it's coming from and like how it's how it makes sense, but honestly, those who do say that they know they're Aryan but they don't necessarily identify as an animal yet, I can see how that works. I can understand that. But I low-key feel like if they were, if that is the case for someone, that maybe they should go under a different label. Like maybe there's some label we can create. Damn it, I just got hot glue on the felt, bro. Anyways, that there's some way, some other classification that or identity they can go by until they do decide that they want to, identify as an animal. And, maybe they could go by other paw, or maybe, someone who knows what they're talking about that isn't just a random small creator on the internet who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Can make a new identity. Maybe I could, but I don't feel like I know enough about the community. I've only been awakened for 4 years, so I don't think I know enough about the community to, do that. But I can agree with that. Now, before I start, stuttering, let's move on, because yes. Bro, as soon as I unpaused it, I freaking touched my finger with the freaking hot glue gun, bro. Anyways. Next, we're going to talk about how this misconception that's actually a lot in the Therian community, not just in, haters talking about whatever. Like, it's actually a lot in the Therian community, and it's very toxic. And I just don't like it at all, because I have many friends that are like this, and then I'll see videos all over my For You page saying, like, I've literally seen quite a few saying that, you have to have good masks, and you have to do quads, and you have to have a good body type. That, specifically, to be a Therian and be accepted in the community, which is not my accent, bro, I can't. Which is not, that isn't true. Like, you can be, what the, okay. Oh, wait, okay, I thought I messed up so bad, and then I remembered that I made one eye bigger than the other. Oh my god, that just scared me so bad. Okay, anyways, so, it is quite a toxic thing to believe and say, and it is not true at all. There it is. Like, I've seen quite a few people who, are chubbier, which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. And my paint bottle is being questionable. Anyways. And I've seen them be, like, really good at quadribics and stuff. My paint thing is right behind my phone. So, anyways. And, like, being a Therian has nothing to do with what your body type is. It's an identity. An identity that is different for everyone, but it is still an identity. And it has nothing to do with masks or gear, which, is in a lot of the community now, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wearing masks or tails or doing quadribics or wearing paws and all that. There's nothing wrong with that, although that does not make you a Therian. It just makes you someone who likes to wear gear. Which a lot of gear, I've also seen a lot of people call masks, like animal masks, Therian masks. but we will talk about that later. Anyways, I really wish I would have scripted this because this is turning out horrible. Yeah. Anyways, so it's like something. The literal definition is someone who identifies as an animal on any level involuntarily. Like, it's an involuntary identity. And there's people who say that it is voluntary, and that's another one, but that's like also something that you see a lot on your page that isn't a uncommon misconception. It is a common misconception, but you'll see it everywhere on your For You page about how it's not true. Which is right, it isn't, but I just completely forgot what I was talking about. The hell? Anyways. The hell? My hot glue gun is being gay again. Okay, whatever. Anyways. Okay, I just need to pause it for a second. Okay, we're back with a new mask. Again. Anyways. I just hate to see that happening in the community because, you know, it can, especially with young people being in the community a lot. Like, you'll see a lot of people who are just exploring with their identity and being a kid, whatever, and they're young Therians, right? Which I used to be a young Therian. I was about, let's see, 11, I think, when I actually started looking into the community, and then later on I actually found out I was a Therian, which, you know, it's interesting, because I was a young Therian. I was literally like 11 years old, and then there's kids out there that are like 8, 9, 10. I think I saw like a 6-year-old the other day who was a Therian, and I'm like, okay, probably, you know, a lot of those kids probably aren't Therians, and they're probably just kids exploring with their identity. Another thing we will talk about later. But anyways, and with people saying, like, you know, even if they don't say it, they'll treat it like it's supposed to be this way. About how you need to be a certain body type, and you need to wear gear and all that to be Therian and do quadrobics and be accepted in the community. Little kids seeing that in this community are going to be like, oh, okay. And then they're going to start getting mental illness and, like, worry about their appearance and, like, think they're not good enough at a very early age. And we don't want that. That is not something that should be so commonly put into the community. And with us, like, you know, the only famous Therian creators or ultra-human creators that I'll see have, like, really good masks, really good gear, are really fit, you know, and are well-spoken, and are actually conventionally attractive. Like, sorry if I'm using words wrong, I hate English so bad. Anyways, so, it's just something we shouldn't, you know, have in the community so much. It's something that should be a bit more, you know, not accepted in the community, because, especially with the kids, that's, like, what I'm worried about most, is the fact that there are teenagers and kids, which I am a teenager myself, but I don't get influenced that easily. Oh, hi, Dora. Hi. My cat just walked in here. What are you yelling at? You want to come up here? Come on, Dodor. There she is. Anyways, it's just disgusting to see, honestly. Oh, be careful. Don't get paint on your head. And, a lot of people do that. I don't know why. Moving on. Oh, I just got paint on my phone. Now, let's talk about the fact that people will call animal masks Therian masks. This pisses me off so bad. Like, a lot of people won't realize that they're calling them Therian masks, and it just happens out of habit. Like, I've done that before. I've accidentally called them Therian masks. But they're not Therian masks, because Therians and masks do not go together. Oh, someone wearing masks does not make them a Therian. And Therians can't gatekeep masks, because there's also other paws, and there's also people who just want to wear masks for fun. So, yeah, it's just, like, not true. It's not a Therian mask. Therian masks are a thing. I lost my, never mind, I found it. Therian masks aren't a thing, because other paw masks, you can make other paw masks, but then again, that's also other paws gatekeeping, because, you know, anyone can wear a mask. Furries, other paws, Therians, you know, anyone under the umbrella term older human, or anyone that just wants to wear a mask and doesn't want to go by a label, which is completely fine. And like furries too, they might not be able to afford a fursuit, and so they might make a mask based off of their persona, which I have done that. I have like 3 versions of my persona in masks, and that's because I am not able to afford a fursuit. I am currently paying for one, but like monthly payments, but we don't talk about that. Anyways, because you never know where someone may come from. You know, they might not have a job, like might not be able to get a job. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're Therian, you must not have a job. Yeah, I do, actually, and a lot of other people do. But some people literally can't get jobs because of mental illness, disabilities, or something else along those lines. My cat is being weird. What are you doing, Dora? Oh, okay, she's curled up in my lap. Hi. Yeah. Can you hear her meowing? Hi. Anyways, so yeah, that's just another thing. And, you know. And here's another one. Moving on, you know. About people will be like, you know, I've seen a lot on Facebook specifically. People will post their kids on like Therian groups and stuff and be like, oh, my child used to be a furry, but then she became a Therian. And then it's always like a small child, like 9, 8, 7, like small children who are saying that they're a Therian. And people were like, she can't become a Therian. You should inform her. What do you mean she became a Therian? That is a small child experiencing with their identity. I get it. We don't want fake Therians in the community. We don't want people claiming that they're a Therian and they're not actually being one, and, you know, saying, I became a Therian, that it's a choice and all that. Well, they're children. They are experimenting with their identity, and they are having fun. Okay? You know, if you ever meet a child like that, you can inform them. You know, they are a child, they're probably not going to listen to you because you're not their parent or sibling or whatever. But you can still inform them, and you can still tell them, you know, that's not what a Therian is. But on the internet, don't do that. Don't do that. Because it makes you look childish, honestly. Especially when you're saying that to a child. It makes you look bad. And it's just not, it's not acceptable, honestly. On the other hand, if it were a teenager, you know, someone who can think for themselves and actually could do enough research, you can politely inform them that they are not a Therian, they are probably an other paw, which other paw means you choose your paw types and all that, stereotypes, not stereotypes because they're not a Therian, but like, they choose it and they like, you know, they don't identify as an animal necessarily. So, yeah. So, yeah. That's pretty much it on that topic. Moving on. Now we're going to talk about fake claiming, which I've seen Gecko make a story on TikTok about this, but with their personal, experiences, which absolutely disgusts me that people are fake claiming people. But that's like the only thing I've seen on it. Then again, I haven't looked it up or anything, so I have no idea if these videos about fake claiming actually exist or not. I just haven't seen them on my For You page. So, we're going to talk about that, since I haven't seen literally anyone make a video about that. So, yeah. So, well, it's raining outside, that's for sure. I don't know if you heard that or not, but, thunder. Yay. Anyways, so, it seems to be super normalized in the community, fake claiming and stuff, which it shouldn't be. Freaking, I dropped something. Okay, because what do you mean you're going to tell someone that their experience isn't real or whatever? Like, there's people like Crystal Therian and like, people like that are like such obviously being fake, and it's like obvious rage bait, there's people like that. But if you're just gonna tell someone because they don't talk about their therianthropy, or they don't want to talk about their therianthropy, or some other reason that is 100% valid, but for some reason half of the community thinks isn't, like that everyone needs to share their personal information about their experiences with therianthropy, how they found out they were a therian, and how they know they were therian, and how they found out they were their therian type. God damn it. And all that. I think it's kind of hypocritical and, like, stupid to do that, because, what the hell? What do you mean you're gonna... It's raining, bro. I love the rain, but I hate the rain. It comes in at the worst times, bro. I low-key want to go play in it, though, but I'll do that later. Anyways. I just hate fake claiming so much, and I see it a lot. People in comment sections will be, like, fake claiming them, and, and big content creators, cough, cough, not gonna mention any names, will fake claim the whole community. Like, what the hell you mean? Like, I don't know, it just pisses me off so much seeing fake claiming, especially from big content creators that inspire lots of young people, because you're giving them false information, you're teaching them, when there's people that look up to you, you can't make irrational decisions and influence them into doing things that are not cool, bro. Like, you're influencing a lot of young people to fake claim others. And unless you have specifically stated on your channel that you do not want those who are younger than whatever age, on your channel or TikTok, then you definitely shouldn't be making videos like that. Either way, you shouldn't be making videos like that. But especially when you haven't put any warnings out or anything, because that's just irrational, that's stupid, that's immature. There's so many words for it. But yeah, like, it's just dumb. It's dumb to fake claim people, especially for how they experience therianthropy. Like, it just doesn't make sense, it's stupid, it's ugh. So, yeah, that's just not cool at all. So, yeah. If you've done that before, I would recommend taking that video down. Or those videos, depending on if you've made a bunch or not. because influencing children to fake claim the entire community, or they might get offended by it and be like, you know, oh, most of the community is fake. Are you stupid? Like, no. You have no way of telling that. You have no way of, you know, telling, like, being able to see that someone is fake because you are not in their body, you don't know what they're experiencing, and you don't know how they, you know, live, how they experience things. Like, it's just not, it's not right. Anyways, oh hell yeah, I just found my actually good scissors. I don't have to use these things anymore. Finally! Oh my god, thank the god, bro. Anyways, so yeah, I just honestly think it's a little bit irrational. But, bruh. Moving on. Now my dogs are gonna start barking. I cannot. Anyways, so next topic, we're gonna talk about how a lot of people will go on the internet and, you know, make comments about how someone's style is different. Like, I'll see a lot of hate on preppy people. And not gonna lie, I used to hate on preppy people too until I realized, you know, there's good preppies out there, and just because you're preppy doesn't mean that you're a bad person and that you're gonna hate on their ends, because no, that's not, your style doesn't define who you are. You know, so that, just wanted to put that out there, kind of. Hold on just a second. Ugh. Okay, so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, a lot of hypocrisy, especially with that. You know, and I'm gonna be, I used to be one of those people, but I'm not anymore. I don't hate on preppy people just for being preppy. I only hate on the preppy people who are the stereotypical preppy people. So, yeah. Because a style does not make you who you are as a person. It just makes you, all it does is just show that you openly express yourself. You know, and there are preppy Therians out there, and people will be like, oh my god, you're a preppy Therian, you need to find a different style. Or someone who doesn't have an earthy style, people are like, ew, you're not a real Therian, you don't have a good style, you know. And I'll see on a lot of videos and stuff, people will be like, you know, styles I hate, or styles I don't want to see, or whatever, and or styles I love, or something like that, and it'll be, one of the styles will be Therian. Therianthropy is not a style. Therianthropy is an identity that is personal to each and every person that has it. So, yeah. So that's like, I don't know. It's just something that I absolutely hate. I hate seeing it in the community, and I hate people pushing that onto the community, because no. It's not what it is. It's not what it's supposed to be. It is actually quite different. Okay, yeah. So, Don't mind the awkward poses I'm doing to be able to get this thing to fit right. Currently furring it and it's not laying on the right way. So I have to glue it in certain ways so it'll lay right. Okay, well, I unfortunately do not have time to finish this mask today. It'll probably be done by tomorrow, but yeah.